Greetings, my friends, and welcome to Powerful Plant Allies. My name is Jack, and welcome to part 4 of our Herbs in Your Neighborhood documentary series, where we split up the Herbs in Your Neighborhood documentary from 2021 that I released on Earth Day, and we split up all the plants that we talked about in that documentary series, and split them into their own videos so that a wider variety of people can get to the information without having to watch the 30-minute documentary. This one, oh my gosh, this plant was one of my favorite plants to show on my tours, my plant walks that I used to give on Long Island. Seeing the reaction on everybody's face when I pulled this plant out of the ground was absolutely priceless, and she's delicious. You can throw her in soups and stews and in salads, fry them up, throw them on top of a burger or a sandwich, whatever you love. This is a food plant and a medicine plant, but a food plant nonetheless. So let's go ahead and talk about field garlic. So in my neighborhood, we have a little forest offshoot. You can see we got some beautiful garlic mustard growing here, which is, this is all second-year garlic mustard, one of my favorite plants. If you haven't checked out the garlic mustard video, I'll have a link in the bio below. But there is one plant in particular that is a spring plant that in a couple of weeks is probably going to disappear that I'm looking for. So let's head over here and let's see if we can find it. Take a look at this patch right here. Now, if you don't know what this plant is, you may be thinking, Jack, why are you showing us a little patch of grass? And this is my favorite plant on my local Long Island tours to show everybody. And that's because, like I said, it looks like a patch of grass. However, when you dig it up, we're gonna see what it actually is. Let it reveal itself. Just loosen up the soil around it. Now you want to make sure you get as deep with the shovel as you can, because you don't want to rip up the goods that are underneath it. Take a look at that. This, ladies and gentlemen, is field garlic. Now, this plant has long and narrow leaves that grows in bunches and clusters. These leaves can range anywhere from 1 to 3 feet long. Now, from a distance, this plant resembles a patch of overgrown grass, which I used to think that it was when I was younger. But when you take one of the leaves and you rip it, you will notice that it is hollow and tubular. They closely resemble chives. And when you dig around the plant and pull up the roots, you will find small bulbs that's attached to it. Now, one thing you may not know is that bulbs are actually modified leaves, underground leaves for a plant. Now, this plant, you can basically find it everywhere. Lawns, open fields, meadows, woodlands like we're in right now, and again, the cracks in the sidewalk. Right here, about 100 feet from my house, this beautiful, beautiful herb and vegetable is growing for your use. Now you can see the bulbs on this field garlic. They're not as big as the garlic bulbs that you'll find in the supermarket. I love to actually cut these up, clean them up, and throw them in like soups and stews, or you can cut them up breakfast in the morning. If you're making eggs, you can mix them within it. Really good stuff. One of my truly favorites. I mean, everything we've seen today is my favorite, but this is a total iconic plant that I just love seeing all year round. Now, in the late fall, this plant emerges and it stays pretty much throughout the winter. Sometimes if you're walking through the woods and you see little green patches coming up from the snow, it most likely is field garlic. I remember the first time that Zach and I had discovered this plant. We were at Avalon, which is over in Setauket, and we were seeing all these little patches of green, and we were like, oh, I wonder what that is. I guess maybe springtime is coming, or if it's just grass, maybe it's just grass. And we went up to it, and I had just gotten my first foraging book, and I was like, I wonder if this is field garlic. And I tore one of the leaves off, smelt it, smelled like chives, and I was like, no freaking way. So we were sitting there, digging our bare hands through the freezing cold, pulling up the plants and going home with them and making a delicious stew out of them. By eating the fresh and raw bulb of field garlic, it can help to reduce blood pressure and shortness of breath. The juice of this plant can be rubbed topically on any exposed part of the body to repel insects from biting you. The entire plant is a blood purifier, diuretic, vasodilator, anti-asthmatic, and cathartic. A tincture made from the entire plant can be used to prevent worms and colic. It is also a wonderful remedy for croup. The plant contains sulfur compounds which can act as a tonic for the digestive system and as a tonic for the circulatory system. You can use this plant in replacement to your traditional garlic that you would buy at the supermarket. A tea made from field garlic is antibacterial and antifungal, making it great for things such as yeast infections or urinary tract infections. Like traditional garlic, field garlic can help to balance out your gut bacteria. Now please take a look at the cautions for field garlic.